Hello there everybody, this is Gerald Snivy and welcome back to more Let's Play Chameleon Twist. Today we're going to be starting the very last level of the game, Ghost Castle. And boy oh boy, we're going to be in for a spooky good time. Let's go ahead and do this right now. Anyways, Ghost Castle. Ghost Castle is considered the hardest level in the game, or maybe even the second hardest, only beaten by Kids Land. You finally made it to Ghost Castle, the final stage. Many strange and mysterious ghosts lie in wait for Fred and cause no end of mischief. I'll be waiting for you just up ahead near the exit. How so? That I truly wonder. Also, here is a very special door. You need 50 crowns to open this door. Come on in! Come on in! Man, I love that quote from 402 Thunder. That is hilarious. And what it means by 50 crowns is 50 crowns total from all stages that you've completed up to this point. Dang it. After collecting 50 crowns, you can play this pool minigame. Also, you need at least 50 crowns in order to even be able to fully complete the stage. But if you have been moving around like me and completing as many stages as possible, then this should not be a problem for you whatsoever. So in that sense, we're going to be playing a game of pool, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Thankfully, the rules of pool do not apply here, so you can knock out as many balls as you want, and you don't even need to worry about solids and stripes, and even knocking the 8-ball into the hole. You don't need to worry about any of that. The only thing you have to worry about is just knocking all the balls into the holes, with the exception of the big white ball that is used to knock out some of the other balls. By the way, you don't need to beat anyone in this. You could challenge yourself and try to figure out like how very little shots you'll need in order to even beat the minigame. You can do this as many times as you want after you collected all the crowns. Are you kidding me? How did that miss? And that! Man, I swear, I'm shooting straight. Go in the hole, please. Oh, god damn it. Well, not exactly what I wanted to do at all. By the way, the balls hurt you, so don't touch them. Even the white ball will hurt you. By the way, you can play this minigame as many times as you want, after collecting all 50 crowns, of course. Winning the minigame will award you a crown, and that's the whole reason why you need 50 crowns in total in order to even be able to fully complete the stage. Speaking of which, I'm going to go ahead and save here. And there we go. The reason I'm choosing to save here instead of waiting until later is just so I can easily come back here at any point and redo the stage if I have to. Which is very likely going to happen. Unlike some of the other levels which have been very, very linear, Ghost Castle does offer multiple paths, at least within the first room. However, taking one path or the other will lead you to one singular point later on within the level. You know what they say, fight fire with fire. Although, in this case, I wasn't really fighting fire with fire at all. It was just walk around the fire and you're fine. Dang it. Well, that was a waste of a gold heart. This level is considered one of the hardest ones in the game due to the platforming. Oh my god, are you serious? I literally had no time to react. Dang it. Come on, let's go. Whoa. I thought that pole was gonna screw me over. Whew, that was hairy. By the way, you're gonna want to go this way in order to continue onward with the stage, but we're not gonna go that way just yet. Instead, we're gonna go into this strange library that somehow is able to rotate on its side. Approaching it from either the left side or the right side of the room will force the library to do this. And there's no way to really rotate it back either. So it's stuck this way forever. Really. It's stuck like this. Scoway, my way, said no one ever. So in essence, this level will be testing every single skill that you have learned up to this point, including the tongue stand and the tongue stand, as well as some other advanced techniques, such as this one. I swear. There we go, finally! Now, final... There we go, just don't fall. Whew! There we go. In my personal opinion, collecting all the crowns here is definitely one of the harder challenges yet. You just gotta do all kinds of exploring and looking around, and also trying to do some sort of all kinds of different advanced techniques just to get back up to the goddamn platform. I did this before, why can't I do it again? There we go. Whew, damn. That was a lot harder than it needed to be. That is for sure. Okay, now I'm curious. Anything over here? There's a crown, but anything but death? Okay. Nothing else here. What about over here? Well, I'm back at the start of the level. Well then. Good to know. Honestly, I would rather go back through Barrel Hell than the library again. But really, it's a matter of preference. And you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and cut back to the whole... I'm gonna go back... Bleh! Gonna make a cut. See you all soon. Finally, I have returned. Let's get rid of these evil sandals now, shall we? Some evil, evil black sandals of death. By the way, if you want to know what the theme for this level is, I haven't quite mentioned it yet, but this level is more or less based on an old Japanese castle. I think. That or it's Chinese. I don't quite know for sure. Also, because this room is so narrow, it's going to be very difficult for the free-roaming camera to even be able to track your position, and rotating it is pretty much impossible, so don't even try. Like me, when I try to do it. Otherwise, you're gonna die. Also, here's a fun room. And the reason why it's fun is because this room is constantly rotating. I swear there's something here. Just can't quite see it. Okay, now I'm really curious. Okay, nothing here then. It was just an obstacle waiting to be taken down. I'm cool with that. Oh, God damn it, come on, hit the candle, thank you. This room is considered a very fun room because of all the fire that's constantly spewing out from the candles. And they're going to be swarming you constantly. So in essence, yeah, they're going to be coming at you endlessly. And the best way to deal with this problem is simple. Only have like maybe 1 or 2 on screen if possible, and try to get within close proximity of only 1, so that way the other candles don't start constantly spewing out enemies, because otherwise you'll be swarmed very quickly. There we go. Nice. 2 more to go. And there we go. Knocking out all the candles in this room will yield you a nice, well-deserved crown. And that makes 12. 12 out of 23, so we're about halfway there. If not, we probably are, because technically speaking... Oh, here's a real fun room. This room is pretty much one big giant illusion. And you're constantly surrounded by evil dishes and fire. What you have to do? I think you just have to shatter the right mirror. Otherwise, you won't be able to exit. Now for another really fun room, if I can... Well, that was unexpected. Within this room, what you have to do is very simple yet again. Just eat up some fire, which, how do you even do that? I don't know. Anyway, just eat up the fire and fire it at the candles. If I don't waste my shots like an idiot. The hitboxes for the candles themselves are very generous and very big. Just keep in mind, the platforms are not going to stick around forever. So you need to keep moving and keep eating fire and lighting candles as quickly as you can. Otherwise, you're going to end up getting completely screwed. In other words, you're just going to die. I find it strange that Ghost Castle does have signs to help guide you along. But in here, we'll find ourselves yet another crown. Also within this room, the fire, for some reason, jumps with us. So we cannot really play hot rope jump and just jump over the fire. It just won't work. What you have to do is just simply eat the fire that's within your path, which, again, don't know how that's even possible because fire is not really edible in any way. But then again, we have been proven wrong before. With fire eaters and everything. Anything in here? Nope. God damn it. Was really hoping to have at least opened up 2 platforms before moving on, but nope. That's unfortunate. Also, in this room, this one is different from the other ones because the platforms are much further apart, Or some of them are. They're further apart than others. So you'll have to make bigger jumps. But really, it's not that difficult to navigate through whatsoever. It honestly isn't. Oh great, another one of these rooms with the mirrors and stuff. Instead of dishes, we now have to... Instead of dishes, we have pieces of the scenery. Alright! Completely destroyed the illusion. And we're up to 18 crowns, which is excellent. I have to say, so far, the crowns haven't been too bad, but we're almost at the end now. And I wonder, do I have to kill more? I'm pretty sure I do. There we go. Finally, hit him! That's the thing about these enemies. They're super annoying to deal with. Because they're constantly spitting fire at you. What is up with that lag? Probably because there's so much fire. In all honesty, when you get to the middle of the room, you're kind of in a safe zone, but you have to aim carefully. You have to aim carefully enough so that way you're able to snipe all of the fire-spewing enemies at range. After doing so and defeating them all, which is easier said than done as proven with me, it'll yield you a crown. That's what I was trying to say. Oh great, here's a really, really fun crown to get. Hey, at least I made it back safely. As I say, I almost fall off the platform twice. This room right here is the very last room that you have to go through within Ghost Castle before we reach the boss. In the demo, it shows you a fairly easy way to get through the room, while more or less it intends you to use the poles to execute a small spin from one platform to another, but how I always did it, I just simply used good old-fashioned platforming to my advantage. Dang it. Also, this enemy, despite its size, it cannot be eaten in any way. And for some reason, it doesn't shoot rapid-fire fire. Damn it! God damn it, I can't believe I fell at the very end. Another thing I haven't mentioned yet is that if you happen to fall within a room and respawn, then all the enemies in the room respawn, including that fire-spewing enemy, which is super annoying. Because now we gotta shoot him again. Fire! There we go, got him. Got him! Why did I say that? I don't have a clue. Just what I wanted to do. And with that, that's all the crowns in the game. We've collected all the crowns, although it doesn't tally our total as of yet. But it will be tallied after we defeat this boss. The very last boss in the entire game. So, with that in mind, let's do this. The final boss of this game is some sort of samurai armor snake-like thing. And what you have to do in order to defeat it, kind of like the strawberry shortcake, you have to damage its weak point in some way, shape, or form. And to do this, you just need to hit your tongue on the balls, the colored balls to be exact. Oh, damn. The first phase of this fight, in my personal opinion, is definitely harder than the second phase, and yeah, spoiler alert, there are 2 phases. Another thing you could do is abuse your invincibility frames to... Oh, man, 1 hit left. Dang it, missed him. Usually it doesn't take me this long to defeat the first phase. Another thing I haven't mentioned is that after the first phase is done, he transforms into what the hell is that? No clue, but either way, this thing just killed me. Fantastic. Man, if you happen to die during this fight whatsoever, then you have to redo both phases from the very beginning. So, with that in mind, I'm just going to go ahead and cut footage and see you all at the beginning of the second phase. See you all soon. Okay, finally returned to the second phase. And unlike some of the other bosses who we fought in this entire game, including this one, we have to essentially play the boss's game. He's constantly going to be shooting these white balls in a machine gun-like fashion. Kind of like you, how you spew up multiple enemies. And the difference between some of the other bosses who we fought and this one is that you have to constantly be hitting him and also eat up a lot of enemies, or a lot of the white balls, which is strange because we couldn't eat the white balls before, but now we can. Oh, sweet! He is down and out. So after hitting him enough times with enough balls, he is defeated and the game is won. And also say hello to the best freaking ending music ever! Or one of the best at the very least, in my personal opinion. Fun fact, this ending sequence actually made it into the game's sequel, Chameleon Twist 2, within the first level. How? I don't know. I guess they were using this particular level as a testing ground for their sequel. Haven't mentioned this yet, but this game is developed by Japan Supply Incorporated and published by Sunsoft on the N64. Can't believe I didn't mention that as a video 1, but better late than never, I always say. Am I right? Man, this music. So freaking nostalgic. Man. Oh man, oh man. So with that, the main game itself is fully 100% complete now. Now that all the crowns have been collected, the main game itself has finally been beaten. Now you may be wondering, what do we get as an end reward? Well, we'll find that out as soon as we're finished with the credits here. And the reason for this is just, I'm not entirely sure. In all honesty, I honestly wish that this level here would have been like your ultimate reward, but really, it isn't. It's just there for the credits sequence. And that's it. Also, it's in the sequel too. Fred, you followed me all the way here. Did you enjoy your adventure? Come and visit. Come and visit me again sometime. I think that's what he meant. Come and visit us again sometime. We'll be waiting for you. That's nice. Although we never really found out what the rabbit was late to, because in all honesty, it probably just ended as he arrived, which kind of stinks, but hey, that's the way the game rolls, I guess. So now that our adventure has been completed, the White Rabbit kindly transported us back to the outside world and turned us back into a regular chameleon, though we still maintain our backpack somehow. And now we're in a super happy mood as we just simply walk away from the magical pot, and it shall never be spoken of again. So with that, we have obtained all 141 crowns, completed the game in 1 hour and 33 minutes and something. And yeah, I got the developer's name wrong. It's Japan System Supply. And that's the end of the game, everyone. That is the end. However, there's still one last little extra thing that I would like to show off. And that is unlocked after attaining, according to a guide I looked up, you have to attain at least 20 crowns within each level. However, I went the extra mile and collected them all. But we'll see that unlockable next time in the only extra video of the game, which should be short, very short. And with that, I am done. This is Gerald Snivy with Let's Play Chameleon Twist. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like. Next time, we're going to be showing off the hidden unlockable of the game, and I'm also going to go ahead and show off the training mode too, and a couple of options of what you can do in there. So once again, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. See you all next time.